everyone, since we didn't get to finish showing the sign-up process for Health Equity, I'm going to walk you through it now through this video. So I think everyone got to see up until Natalie was texted a code, and then that's when things stopped. So once you're texted the code, you're going to enter it back into Health Equity. And then the next step, I believe, is making your username and password. And then once you do that, you'll be able to log in. So I click you go to Health Equity to the login page, and then it brought me here. So I'm going to go ahead and log in and show you the first few things to do once you do get set up. So the first thing I would recommend everyone to do is to go to My Account, Profile, and Profile Details. Just verify that all your information listed under personal information is correct. That way it'll kind of save everyone a headache down the line if you've moved or your phone number is wrong. You can just edit and update any of that so it's all correct. From the same My Profile page, the next thing you're going to do is add a beneficiary. So under beneficiary information, you won't have anything. You'll hit add and edit. Pick which status applies to you. I'm married and choose to designate my spouse as mine. And then you can add as many beneficiaries as you need to. You can do a trust or an estate. But if you do add someone, you don't have to enter their social, birthday, or address when you add them. But if they are ever going to get a check, you'll need to enter that information before they can actually get paid. All right, so since I'm not changing any of this, I'm going to hit cancel, but this is where you add a beneficiary. The next thing also on that My Profile page that it's going to take you back to, make sure your email settings are correct, and then electronic records. Their default here is not yes or here. So you're going to want to edit and update both of those. If you don't say yes to both of those, they're going to mail you statements and claims and things like that, and they're going to charge you $1 for each statement. So if you need a paper copy of it, I would suggest you still get it electronically and then just print it. It'll save you $1 each time, and that'll add up over the course of your HSA. So just make sure you switch to electronic records. The next thing you'll want to do, and those reminders showed up in my inbox, but I'm showing you how to do them if they don't show up in your inbox. So we're going to go back to the home screen, and under quick links, you're going to say make a contribution. There are a couple different ways to get here, but that was the easiest one that I found. So you need to get set up for electronic funds transfers, or EFTs. So you're going to hit add an account. So basically what this is going to allow you to do, it's going to allow Health Equity to reimburse you directly into your bank account, and it's going to allow you to make contributions if you choose to, besides from your paycheck. So enter your information. It'll all be on a check. Your routing number can still be found in Gusto on the left side under job and pay, but your account number, you can only see the last 4 digits of it in Gusto now. So you'll still need to look at a check or your online banking to get that account number. And then I'm not going to type mine in, but then you'll just hit authorize, and then you can use that bank account to send and receive money through Health Equity. And to get reimbursed from Health Equity, you're going to go to Claims and Payments, Request a Reimbursement. I won't be able to actually do this since we're not active, but I can get you a good idea of how to do it. I'm going to say enter claim only, because I'm not going to be sending a payment to anyone. Then we'll say, for example's sake, that I took Annabelle to the doctor, and I took her on Friday. An end date is required for all of these. It can be the same date as the start date. It's just if there was a hospital visit or something like that where it occurred over multiple days. I'm going to say it's medical, but it could be that I'm getting her prescription reimbursed or her dentist or eye doctor visit. I'm just going to say, for the sake of this, that it was a checkup. Since you can add documentation, you might not need to put anything more detailed. I wouldn't recommend actually just putting checkup. I'd add a little bit more, like 4-month checkup and shots or something like that. Amount paid at time of service. That'll be different for everyone. I'll say, for example's sake, that I paid $50 at the doctor's office. And then there's also an option in here right now, which is if I need to pay the physician directly, I can say, like, all right, I need to pay Dr. Bowe. This is my account number at his office, and this is his address. So the reason that unpaid amount, or that this is 0, is because there's not actually a claim in right now. But if there was a claim in, let's say for $200, then I would only need to make a payment. It would make a payment for $150 to Dr. Bowe. So it's very easy, and there'll be a place on the next page for you to enter your receipt or invoice. A couple places to get those into Health Equity. You're going to go to Docs and Forms, and then Receipts and Documentation. So I don't have anything saved right now, but if I wanted to, I would just do Add a New Item, and then put some notes in. There are a lot of different ways you can add it in, like different file formats they take. Type of documentation. EOB is explanation of benefits. Those come from Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and they basically are anytime you have a charge in, they're going to say what you paid and what your responsibility is. I highly recommend everyone download the app, because from the app, you can actually just take a picture of something with your cell phone and it goes right in here. I recommend everyone keep your receipts and documentation in there and organized. If you happen to be audited by the IRS within 7 years, if you bought something with your HSA 7 years ago, and they can still ask for that receipt, even if you switch companies, switch health insurance plans, you'll always be able to log back in here, and that will always be saved for you. So we've covered most of the basics, but there are some really good things in here I wanted to show everyone. So on your home screen, you can go to Resources and then Qualified Medical Expenses. Most of the questions I've had are going to be answered on this page. So we're going to click Qualifying Expenses. People were asking about the orthodontist, and you can see that is covered. There's a lot on here. People are also asking about the dentist, and you can see dental sealants are on here, dentures are on here, but you're probably wondering, what about just my normal dentist visit? And then you can see in here, dental services and procedures. All these that have a question mark next to them are always going to have this little drop down, and you just click it and it'll give you a little bit more clarity. So yes, you can pay for dental services, but non-cosmetic. So I could get a cavity filled, but if I wanted to get my teeth whitened at the same time at the dentist, that part of my visit would not be covered. And then you can look at things that they won't cover. So cosmetics, nail polish, mostly obvious things, but there it is, the teeth whitening, not something that you should pay for using your HSA. This is going to be a really helpful tool for people. You can get to it a few different ways, but there's also one more page I want to show people. If you just go to healthequity.com and then Learn, and then the HSA page. This kind of breaks everything down. There's another link to the qualified medical expenses. But helpful is right here, maximizing your savings, your HSA contribution limits for individuals and families for 2018. Something to be aware of, because you can be penalized if you put too much money into that account. And then down here, HSA calculator. Really helpful if you want to max out your contribution, but you want to do it gradually. You put all that information in, and it will tell you how much to put in per paycheck, or if you want to pay once a month or once a quarter, it's going to break everything down for you. And then another link to the mobile app, which I, again, definitely recommend everyone download because it makes everything a lot easier and more accessible. If anyone has trouble signing up or has any questions after signing up, please let me know.